Hello again and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we have a 1v1 of Stardom versus Goopy. And this is a very common 1v1 map here. We're seeing, I believe this is Comet Catcher. Yep, Comet Catcher. And as we see, we have two different start position choices here. We have a top left start position choice here from Goopy, which is giving him a double mex and a third mex with a bit of a walk, which does look like he is going to do. But as Stardom has chose for a double mex in the center of the map on his side with a little walk for the third. Now, what does this mean? Is that Goopy basically only ever has to fight downwards. Doesn't have to worry about things flanking him from the top. But it does mean for him to get his bottom side mexes, that is one hell of a walk down. And it's actually not that far from Stardom. It's only a little bit extra for Stardom to actually get to that distance because this map is only just a bit over a square shape. So, interesting start choice. Whereas Stardom has basically to defend his north and south side, but will predominantly have to fight just north. Does mean he has an equal distance from his mexes on the north and south side of his start position, however. Now, both players are quite well known in the bar sphere, especially when it comes to 1v1s. Goopy is renowned for his 1v1 plays. Unfortunately, pretty much every cast I've done with him so far, he has been on the losing side. So I am sorry for that, Goopy. Hopefully this one will be a bit different for you. And Stardom is well known for his plays in the massive 8v8 games. He's a very good player. And with an OS of 49 to Goopy's 52, still a close, very close matchup here, and we'll see how this plays out. So firstly, we're seeing Goopy here with a vehicle factory and a single scout out, whereas Stardom has also gone vehicles and has just gone engineers at the moment. Stardom with a Cortex Star as opposed to Goopy's arm. And we see a very well positioned LLT here, which will stop any harass on the metal extractor from Stardom. And Goopy is also unable to get this mex here because of the solars. So very well placed solar defense here. And that will mean that Goopy's early harass here will basically be fruitless. So for those that aren't aware, obviously units can only shoot over things if they are higher than them. A scout is obviously very tiny and can't shoot over these solars, and therefore can't hit the mechs. Also can't shoot over the factory. Whereas over here, it'd obviously be able to shoot these, but the LLT can shoot over the mexes and over the solar. So unless the scout is literally right here, that's the only place it could be where the LLT wouldn't be able to shoot it and it would be able to shoot the mechs, but that didn't happen. So we've got plenty of time for more combat to take place. Now Stardom has invested in quite a lot of scouts here. We can see the same level of defense has not taken place on Goopy's side. And we may see an early engineer loss here from Goopy. As these 4 scouts come in, a blitz is there to help, but will it be able to do the job quick enough? Does manage to force off the scouts and manages to kill 2, but that engineer did end up at half health, so good early harass from Stardom, keeping Goopy on his feet. Now what do we expect in this map? So I expect this north side here to mostly be uncontested. Goopy will probably just expand with an engineer and push that way. Both commanders will tend to walk towards the middle. Stardom now knows that Goopy's up on this north side, so we'll try and move with his commander in that direction. Let's see Stardom probably holding off around here. He would like to push to here, but it's going to be a bit difficult because Goopy's probably going to get there first. And he's actually already positioning his blitzes in that location. And then it will be a bit of a fight off for the middle until we see a transition over to things like artillery, Wolverines from here. Wolverines from there, and the shell shockers with some artillery to assist. With tanks to assist, sorry. Now, just as a reminder, I do these casts live-ish without watching the replay beforehand, so I don't know what's going to happen just as much as you don't. So try and keep it as entertaining and as realistic a reaction as possible so that I don't know ahead of time what's going to happen. So if I do miss something, I do apologize, especially if you're watching this for like a second time after you've already watched it yourself. If you do have some interesting replays you want to send, feel free to pop them across to me, either a link or the replay file. You can email them to me or send it to me on Discord. And I will endeavour to have a look at it and cast it for the channel. Now, one thing we're seeing here is Stardom is completely stalling on resources. He has basically no metal, no energy bank at all. Whereas Goopy is okay at the moment. What is going on? Oh. Stardom actually lost the double mex point that I said was defended very well. He actually managed to get it. Well played. Well played, Goopy. As we see here, as predicted, Goopy managed to get this front line. Stardom did want to get there, but it was a bit too far to walk. And Goopy is actually investing in a frontline bot lab. Maybe thinking that he can get some rocket bots up to get some harass on, but maybe a little while till he can get that. Oh, we see Stardom making a walk here for the LLT. Gonna try and D-gun it. I thought Goopy was gonna go to block it, but Goopy does not. Giving up that position to Stardom. And now the LLT races commence as both players are trying to rush for LLTs. Meanwhile, as predicted, the north side is completely uncontested for Goopy. And both these LLTs are just fighting each other whilst there's a bit of a tank attack here from Stardom, but that's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Stardom here, again, walking forward with his comm. Doesn't have enough energy here to D-gun, but does force Goopy off of that position. And Stardom manages to take control of this double mex point that I mentioned about him wanting. And pushing Goopy into the corner. Now, interestingly enough, Stardom is yet to expand down. He's got a single engineer building some construction turrets further down, and one is slowly going to build mexes, and nothing is going upwards. And there's a big scout force coming around now from Goopy as we zoom out to see everything. There's a bit of posturing going on here as well with these forces. Goopy yet to do anything with those scouts. There we go, as we see him start to do something. This is enough to start causing some problems for Stardom if he keeps them moving. Oh, he's too busy microing stuff in the middle of moving them around. Oh, here we go. See what he can get for these 6 scouts. And Stardom definitely knows they're there. Oh, he doesn't actually. Is he going to time the attack for when he pushes these in? It does look like that is the case. We will see Goopy with a front bot lab and Stardom with a front vehicle lab on queue. And Goopy with some reinforcement engineers. Now, in terms of economy-wise, they're both very similar. Stardom with 46, and actually Goopy with 46 income as well. Goopy actually with an energy advantage right now. And the first sets of stouts are out. Is that not good for Stardom here, as Stardom is yet to transfer into full-blown tanks and has only got incisors. Is this a permanent transition to them? Yes, it is. So Stardom knows he's going to be in a bit of a problem here if he doesn't hurry up and deal with that. Also, look at all these mexes around here that haven't been capped off. Even the one right in front of the base hasn't. In front of his new factory. And there goes the LLT. Fortunately, these pounders here, can't remember the new name, are going to be a bit weak against full-blown stouts. And actually, these scouts here that have just been sat here are probably going to get an engineer kill. He's aware of what's going on, but meanwhile, combined force of pawns and blitzes are causing Stardom to have to reevaluate his front lines. Oh, that was a big mistake from that LLT there. It was just shooting a wreck rather than doing anything. But at the same time, Goopy massively underestimates the micro capability of Stardom and just leaves his forces hanging there. And as they drive straight into a bunch of LLTs, all of those blitzes and pawns are obliterated, leaving only 2 left alive. That's a big win there for Stardom, but he did leave 2 alive that he's not actually mopping up yet. Meanwhile, these scouts are actually going to finish off the engineer, yeah. So they do finally end up getting something. Now, the one thing about Pounders is they actually have a substantial amount of, like, impulse damage. And what that does is kind of, like, not stuns it, it's not the right word, but it kind of, like, slows it down, shocks it as such. It's like movement damage. And so that is forcing the stouts to basically stay still for a bit, which could help. But the biggest thing here is that the Pounders can't shoot over things. So all these wrecks are kind of just getting blocked. And actually, all of those tanks did actually get killed. And Goopy in a little bit of an interesting spot here as he is getting a bit surrounded. His front line is getting obliterated. D-guns coming out from Goopy. And Stardom deciding to just go for it. I don't think he's got quite enough forces left to finish this off. He actually hasn't even got the factory. 120 health left. Meanwhile, there's a big fight at this side here with Resbots managing to go down and resurrect everything. And the factory survives. And Stardom, with that, actually calls it as all the forces get resurrected and walk straight into Stardom's base. So, a bit unfortunate there. Stardom kind of gave up too soon. Maybe the all-in was a bit too presumptuous and maybe should have been a bit more patient. But good game for both players. Nice to see Goopy win a game, so well done, Goopy. And thank you guys for watching. And like I said, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button for more bar-related content, and I'll see you guys next time.